Alrighty. Good and happy Saturday. Marty here. Welcome to my Saturday morning cartoon. Welcome in, Raiders, from the Katrin stream. Warfy, how you doing this afternoon? Good to see you. So, as per the description of this video, what I'm going to do today, I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to try to simulate a new player experience. So basically, if you've just purchased this game or somehow otherwise come into quote-unquote ownership of it, Grimy, welcome in, welcome in. You're going to be presented with this panel when you first start up the game. So if you have friends who play this game, then obviously you can join them. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just try something normal. Now you won't see this. What you'll see here is 5 empty game playthrough slots, and you'll see a new game option here. And what we're going to do is we're going to just try a normal playthrough, just to have a chill Saturday morning here. We're going to see if we can get through enough of the storyline to make it to the anomaly for the weekend mission, and also see if we can acquire enough parts to build a ship. So without further ado, okay, before I go on here, you can see that you have a number of different game mode selections here. You have a creative mode where there's obviously everything's free and blah blah blah. Gunboat, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so okay, so back here you do have options, and if you don't like PvP, or you don't care to partake in that type of gamesmanship, then you can turn it off. You can also turn off the HUD here, which is a pretty useful thing. And the PvP, let's see, multiplayer voice chat. Okay, so PvP is a game specific or playthrough specific option, I believe. So let's go ahead and get a normal playthrough going. We'll see if we can, we'll see how far we can get into this in the few hours that we have available to us here this morning. So the first thing you're going to notice is that you're going to spawn on a planet, and you will need to keep a few things in mind. Generally speaking, when you spawn on your first planet, there's going to be some kind of hazard going on. So you're going to need to be aware of that. So here down the bottom left-hand corner, you see 66.4% tox, which to me indicates that this is a toxic environment, and our toxic hazard protection will begin to erode very quickly as we move around. Now, two other things you need to be aware of is when you first spawn in, generally speaking, you will be facing your ship. You do spawn in with a ship. Your ship is nearby, and depending on the difficulty, you may want to make a move for that ship. So what I like to do is, first thing I'd like to do is just kind of take a look around, right? Now, this is what a typical planet looks like. There's a few, there's some minerals, there's some plants, there's more than likely some fauna or animals around, and yeah, there's going to be some buildings. You may not see much in terms of buildings right up front, but there should be buildings around somewhere. Now we're in photo mode here, so we're just we kind of went as high as we can. You see that you see this dome here kind of thing. That's just telling you can't go any further up. So we know that our ship is in this direction, the direction of this building here. This building, by the way, is called a minor settlement. It's got a landing pad on it, but our ship is not there. It's a little further afield that way because, of course, as I said, we face our ship when we first spawn in. And depending on the type of playthrough that you choose, you may want to get some shelter. Get out of these elements that are really, yeah, knocking your protection off. So first thing we need to do, well, let's check and see. We do have a multi-tool, which is mining device / weapon / scanning device, and we need some ferrite dust to fix the scanner on this tool. There's our ship there. We're not close enough to access the inventory on the ship, but we will be shortly. And there's our exosuit, which is our first layer of protection in the game. And you can see from the bottom left there that our hazard protection starts off kind of already at a disadvantage. So what we're going to do is we're going to... oh, there's the settlement over there. Okay, let's go into the settlement just for shits and giggles. Just to get out of the elements here. You do have a bit of a jetpack. That pack on the back serves as a container and a jetpack, as you can see here. Yeah, so as you can see, once you get into shelter, your toxic protection rebuilds itself, right? Now, shelter means basically... Good morning, Starduster. Welcome in, welcome in. Shelter could mean a building or a cave. Now, caves don't always allow you to rebuild your hazard protection, but yeah, there it is. So this thing, the Galactic Trade Terminal, allows you to buy stuff or sell stuff. So if we had something to sell, which we do, carbon, we could sell that. Obviously, well, obviously to me, it's not so obvious, but carbon is one of your very important items. Excuse me, items that you're going to need in the game. So you're going to want to hang on to that. And so up in the top left corner here, you can see the game currencies. The units are money. The nanites are a different kind of currency that you can use, and quicksilver is the third type of currency you can use. These things will cost you units. So I have no currency at all. So right now I can't buy anything, but I know that this particular trade terminal does have a few items that may be useful very, very shortly. Yeah, hermetic seal, metal plate, pure ferrite, some useful things in here for sure. Now, minor settlements would also have a box like this with a multi-tool in it. This is actually very, very good multi-tool right here for, you know, just stumbling on it, right? As you see, it's an A class. So classes in this game start at C, that's the lowest class, go to B to A, and then the S class is the highest class of multi-tool, ship, or other type of device that you can get. Your exosuit upgrades, exocraft upgrades, and so on. That's the order they follow, C, B, A, and S. You can also get X-class upgrades, which are sort of black market. But yeah, just suffice it to say that you can also get X-class upgrades. They may or may not be better than S-class. This guy here, this guy is a vendor. He will have technology, which you will find useful. You can find this vendor in either a minor settlement like this or in an archive, and either one will have all of these things, which will be very useful early in the game. You're going to want to get all of these at some point. I find the most useful things here are the advanced mining laser, and for your ship, the teleport receiver. Shield lattice is also useful, and of course the toxic suppressor. In this particular case, we're on a toxic planet, so this would be very, very useful. But of course we have no currency, so we can't buy anything. Okay. Now, we did say that we need to fix our multi-tool, right? So we need 75 ferrite dust. So like I said, your multi-tool is actually your mining device. So we're going to look for some ferrite dust. And the way you find that is you kind of just, well, without the scanner, it's hard to, see, no analysis visor installed. It's hard to tell what's what. But if you point your scanner at items, for example, if you just look at stuff, you can tell what they're made of, at least mostly. This item here is made of ferrite dust. That's exactly what we need. So we're going to do a bit of mining. My apologies to anybody who's an actual veteran of this game. This session this morning might be a little bit primitive for you, but not everybody has picked up the game like a number of years ago, right? Some people are just coming on board now. So doing this mostly for the benefit of those people. And also, this is kind of a bit of a challenge for me too, to see how long it takes to get to the space anomaly to do the weekend mission. Consider that a bit of a challenge myself. So we're just getting some ferrite dust to be able to fix our scanner. Now that we've fixed our scanner, we can actually move the device somewhere else on the multi-tool. There you go, exosuit guidance alert scanning. So you can scan for a number of things after you get your scanner fixed. You can scan... what? No analysis visor. What? Okay, so even though we don't have one, we can still install one. We need to create a carbon nanotube first. So there we go. If you click on one of the empty slots in your exosuit, or your ship for that matter, you'll be offered a number of different things that you can build or craft. Don't forget you need the components to build that thing. So in this case, carbon nanotube takes 50 carbon. We had 60, so we were able to build that. Now we're going to go over here and install our scanner. There we go, 1 carbon nanotube. And there's our scanner. All right, so now we can actually press the F key on the keyboard, in our case, and scan a whole bunch of things, right? Scan the rocks, and there's our ship over there. Once your scanner is installed, you can actually see where your ship is. Okay, here's some of the creatures. The undiscovered creatures are identified by a little red dot. Once you've scanned them, the little red dot turns into a little green paw. Awesome. Oh, here's another one. So that's a number of creatures we've scanned already. Number of creatures, some rocks and plants. And what happens when you scan an item? You heard the exosuit enunciate units received. So basically, you get paid. You get paid for scanning all the items on a planet, and so what that means is we've got 6,900 units for scanning what we just scanned. Now, if you hover over empty slots in your multi-tool, you can see there are other options that you can install. Boltcaster is a weapon, and this is a personal force field. We saw where our ship was. We're going to head to our ship shortly. And here on, pardon me, here on the exosuit, we also have stuff that we can install. In this case, oxygen recycler costs 60 oxygen. We don't have any oxygen at the current. Excuse me. Excuse me for just one moment. Yeah, I think it's hay fever, ragweed season. So, other things you should probably be aware of. There's damaged machinery all over the place. You can access these devices and grab some nanites in our case. You should also be aware that there is salvage data available, and the worst thing about this is that you need a terrain manipulator to dig it out, unless you've disabled the tutorial. The tutorial, basically the tutorial puts you through the paces of the game, and basically forces you to find, you know what, I'm going to put a beacon down here. So if I do this, if I go into my scanner and press E, it's going to deploy a navigation marker. So that will allow me to find, as long as I don't log out of the game or leave the star system, I should be able to find that. I should be able to find this location. So again, oh my God, you cannibalized each other? Come on, guys. That's just a fun Streamlabs item that you can, if you use Streamlabs to do your streaming, you can have a little bit of fun with it for sure. So here's another damaged machinery. And as you can see, we've located our ship. It wasn't very far away, right? So you have time, especially in normal or lesser modes like relaxed or whatever. You do have time to find your ship. Okay, so we still can't dig this out. Now, you're thinking, why don't you put another beacon down here? Another...
That was an interesting morning. LOL, space person for breakfast.
Space person for breakfast, indeed. So you're probably wondering why I don't deploy another navigation marker here so I can find the stuff. Well, you can only deploy one navigation marker at a time. Here's the this ship is called the Radiant Pillar, as you can see there. It's the first ship you will be offered in the game. It's always the first ship, except during expeditions. And yeah, so what we do is we enter our ship, and we get this dialogue, right? Atlas connection intermittent, launch thrusters offline, pulse engine offline. Find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. But this ship is at least seems to recognize me. The controls react to my touch, or at least to that of my exosuit. I'm not dead yet, and this ship is a lifeline out to the stars. So we're going to connect our exosuit. Connected. Pilot should perform maintenance. Select desired path. Repair ship systems. So here we go. We're going to be told what's wrong with the ship here. We already kind of know, right? Self-guided repair protocols initiated. Pulse engine critically damaged. And there's what you need to fix the pulse engine. We talked about the hermetic seal on the metal plate a few minutes ago. And that's this thing. the launch thruster, which we need to get off the planet, is also damaged. So ferrite dust and dihydrogen jelly for that. Okay, so let's see. I should have stayed in the ship, because you can stay in your ship to perform most of these things, most of these tasks. I like to sort my inventory to know where I need to go to find things. You'll usually get some of this stuff too near your ship, just oxygen plants. And so this is oxygen. You need that to replenish your life support. Either that or life support gel or dioxide, as you can see in the panel there. Charge equipment with blah blah blah. So now we have 102 oxygen. We have enough to make the oxygen recycler. We're going to do that. We also need to make a metal plate. We don't have enough to do that. We need to make a hermetic seal. We don't have the blueprint for the hermetic seal just yet. We got to go running around looking for that. And what you need to do at this point is check out your distress beacon here. Boundary separation failure likely, vessel emptied, caused, blah, 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 blah. Analysis, fresh iteration, generated, anomaly, containment prepared. Broadcast that. Anomalies compliant, position log, system integrity scan, and okay. So we've done that. Collect ferrite dust. Okay, so we know that these little items here contain ferrite dust. We haven't scanned that particular one, so is there any more around?
I'm trying to get used to the new sorting program available.
Program? There's a program for that? Okay, so here's some ferrite dust here. Scan that, and do we have 50 yet? Yes, we do. We have 58, so we can actually make a metal plate. What else do we need? Hermetic seal, pure ferrite, and dihydrogen jelly. Now, you can't actually make pure ferrite. You can make dihydrogen jelly. You need 40 dihydrogen for that, and we have 40, so good.
There's 4 different ways you can do it. The sorted.
Yeah, so if you go into your inventory here, there's a bunch of different things, bunch of, ways you can sort your inventory. High value items, consumables, and installed tech. I just like to keep on the all items, just because. By color, resort by type, by color, by name, or by value. I have my own personal way to sort things, which probably most people do at this point. Most people that have played the game for some time probably have that, because they're so used to sorting things in a specific way that can't get that. Now we have 2 of our items. We need repair the pulse engine, return to the starship to conduct repairs. So we can't fully repair the pulse engine. Now you don't have to be in your ship to repair it, but you do have to be close enough. So we're going to start with the metal plate, and now it should tell us that we need to go find another part. So if you press the escape button on your keyboard, if you're playing on a computer, you can see your log, which is basically your to-do list, right? Starship repair, critical maintenance repair, blah, blah, blah. Repair components from the inventory, access the inventory using tab. Repair items using your left mouse button. Carried out in stages. Yes, so that's what we just did. We fixed part of our pulse engine. And we can also fix part of our launch thruster. You see dihydrogen jelly. There's a green check mark there. That means we can also fix that, right? So we still need a hermetic seal and some pure ferrite. The way you get pure ferrite is you have to refine it or buy it, or otherwise grab that with your mining tool. Now our mining tool is not equipped to do that at this time, but we can buy it or refine it. Now, oh, okay, iteration, blah, 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 functional, starship critically damaged, vital ingredients missing, unable to synthesize required components, pulse engine requires hermetic seal, request assistance. Recommendation to hermetic seal nearby, planetary chart from distress beacon cache. So basically it's telling us that there's the blueprint for hermetic seal is close by somewhere, and if we go back to our beacon here, it'll give us a map. See, a planetary chart. Appear inside the beacon's housing as well as this distress broadcast unit. It contains a planetary chart. So now we've been given a planetary chart. So if we plot route using E, as you see in the panel there, yeah, it's going to send us somewhere. It's going to send us to the location of the blueprint for the hermetic seal, which is over that way. 953 units. A unit is about a meter. So we need to go over this way. Quickest way over there is, of course, running, but your character only has so much stamina. The little white guy on the bottom right of your screen will show you your stamina. And you see at some point, as the stamina drops, he turns red, which means you can't run anymore. We're going to need some more of this, probably. I'm going to show you two ways to get your... Okay, so this particular item here, it says hazardous flora. If you get too close to that, it'll snap at you and injure you. Here's a... Oh, I thought it was a cave, but I don't think it is a cave. I think it's just quite a large hole in the ground. Now, you just heard the warning. There's a storm coming. What that's going to do is beat up our hazard protection a little quicker than otherwise. So we're going to need to be cognizant of that our hazard protection is going to drop a little quicker than otherwise. And you see it's a little bit harder to see too in the storm, right? So there's 3 triangles smashing our hazard protection. I really hope there's a building over here or a cave, because we're going to be in some serious trouble otherwise. Alright, so there are buildings here. There's a, this is called a shelter. It's got a couple of these trailer kind of things. You can go inside, and at that point, yeah, your toxic protection stabilizes. So as long as you stay in shelter, and there you go, our toxic protection just recharged itself to full. We did pick up some of this stuff, heptaploid wheat, which in our case will refill or recharge our hazard protection, which is this guy. You could do it also with sodium or sodium nitrate or an ion battery. We did pick up some sodium, so we can recharge our hazard protection to some degree with that. Our life support gets recharged with oxygen, life support, gel or dioxide. We mentioned that earlier. We do have a little bit of oxygen, so that's cool. Now, we're looking for some way to find our blueprint. In the past, I've seen the blueprint in this thing. Accessing archives log, correct. No one does it make this recording, leave behind. The fabricator might be of some use. So that storm is now over. Visor damage, can't find ship. So this is the message that I'm getting out of this device here. the person that left the message said his visor was damaged and he can't find his ship. He's left the blueprint in there, which is for the hermetic seal. That's exactly what we need. Now, this little thing that we saw here, you can grab these things out of that. This navigation data. This thing has a number of uses. You can sell it, or you can use it to purchase maps, or you can use it to call in your spaceship, your starship. Accessing logs, blah blah blah. No one making this recording in case leaving behind in the fabricator might be of some use. Okay, what did it leave here? The log finished machine. Oh, okay. So I could have tapped in here to get the hermetic seal blueprint. And of course now that just means that if I hover over a slot in my exosuit, I can actually craft a hermetic seal. I already have two, so I'm not going to bother with that. I do still need some pure ferrite to fix the other aspect of my ship. Now, if you have the HUD shut off, you won't be able to see this particular icon. It says your starship. That points you back to your starship. I find that quite useful, as should you. But again, if you want to challenge yourself, you can turn off your HUD. Now, you got to watch out for these two types of plants. There's a snapping plant here. This guy here looks like a Venus flytrap almost, and there's also this bulbous thing here that can intoxicate you. You can harvest the oxygen off these. If you get close enough, you'll be able to harvest that little item there, and then use your mining device to harvest the rest of the oxygen out of there. And so now we have a bunch of oxygen. These blue crystals, this is the dihydrogen I was talking about earlier. You can harvest that with your mining device. Oh, our mining device is now depleted. So we have to recharge our mining beam. You can do that with carbon, condensed carbon, or phosphorus. We did pick up some condensed carbon, so let's use that. How much of that do we have? Ferrite dust? Okay, we're going to need a bit more of that. There's more ferrite dust here. Some items contain more than one mineral or component, I guess. And you can discover that by scanning them. So we've scanned this item. It has ferrite dust and dihydrogen. So that's what we're going to harvest. Before you actually scan an item, you won't know if it contains more than one element. Now this one here contains pure ferrite and carbon. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for pure ferrite, right? But you'll notice that we can't harvest this. It says advanced mining laser required. Now we know where to get that, right? We saw that in the miner settlement, right? But that's just a blueprint. We do need to first purchase the blueprint, and then we need the elements required to install that particular item. Now, am I seeing new creatures? No. Okay, so press the escape key, and in your discoveries tab up here, you can see all the stuff that you've scanned. In our case, we've scanned 4 out of the 6 possible types of fauna on the planet. There are 2 left. There's a rare ground creature and an uncommon underground creature. So underground creatures can be found in caves, but not necessarily. So So, okay, let's continue back to our ship. Rare ground and an uncommon underground. So, is this a cave? No. Again, this is just a hole in the ground. Just grabbing some more resources here. Toxic protection falling. So our toxic protection is down to about half. And I'm banking on the likelihood that we'll be able to reach our ship before it completely depletes. Now our ship is over this way. Some sort of miniature diplo there, diplosaur. So dihydrogen is also useful for making your life support gel. I'll show you that in a moment. This is not a cave either. That little jingle that you heard there, that's because we've just crossed over into a different area of the planet, and it should tell you up in the top, I believe, top right corner. It should tell you that you've crossed over. Okay. Now, is there a cave here? There are hazardous flora, and again, if you get close enough, you can grab stuff out of it. See, it just attacked me. Okay, got that. Toxic protection is down to about a quarter. This is not a cave, is it? Oh, here's the underground creature right here. Kind of a crab kind of guy. Pretty sure that's the underground creature. Nope. Yes it is. Okay. Got this thing here. It's a cave plant. Old Explorer, welcome in. How are you doing today? So like I said, you get into a shelter, your hazard protection will rebuild itself. So we're going to get into our ship. We did get the hermetic seal. Let's fix our pulse engine. We still need some pure ferrite. So yeah, repair ship engines. Yeah, okay. Repair launch thruster. See the panel on the bottom there, there's two yellow radio buttons, and the one below it, repair launch thruster, dihydrogen jelly, and pure ferrite. Right, so we've put the dihydrogen jelly in there already. We need some pure ferrite. So mostly, here's one way to get pure ferrite. So we do have the blueprint for a refiner. Now for the refiner we need a metal plating and 30 oxygen. We don't have the metal plating, but we can make one. So let's go ahead and do that. Then we can go ahead and deploy our portable refiner. Put some fuel in it because it does require fuel. And then we can refine some ferrite dust into pure ferrite, just like that. This is one of the 3 or 4 ways to get pure ferrite. The other 2 are, of course, harvesting it with your mining beam or buying it. So here's 50 pure ferrite. We're going to put this stuff back in here, and we're going to scoop up our push down on the wheel of your mouse to scoop up your Deborah Allen, welcome in, welcome to the stream. So this is just kind of a beginner level. basically I started this morning and I said, okay, well, you know what? No expedition. Just finished doing a permadeath, no starter ship, no HUD, no exocraft, blah 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 playthrough last week. So I was thinking of either doing a completely different game this morning or trying something else, trying something new. I haven't done this in a bit. This is, if you've just picked up the game, the stuff I'm doing here is what you're going to see, right? Starting from the very beginning at the game selection panel and going through the tutorial here, because we did not disable the tutorial, so that's what we're going through here. Now we have our pure ferrite. We can install that, and now our launch thruster is repaired. And Starship repaired, launch systems online, all systems functional, seek answers amongst the stars. So you press W to take off. What we're going to do first is we're going to sort this out a little bit down here. Let's put our shield over here.
Hello, Odie and Deborah.
Okay, that's good enough for now. Tritium is pulse engine fuel. That's going to be handy. That's for this guy. So we can recharge our pulse engine. As you can see, both the launch thruster and the pulse engine are 50% charged. We can use 80 additional tritium to fully charge the pulse engine. And we don't have any Starship launch fuel or uranium. So we're kind of stuck at 50% for the launch fuel. We do have the blueprint for launch fuel, but we need an extra metal plate. So let's actually do that. Metal plate, create a launch fuel, put that up on the ship. Now we're going to wait till the pulse or the launch thruster charge drops before we recharge it, because this charges it to 100%, regardless of what's in the launch thruster. So we're going to just wait for that. We got this stuff. We got some wheat here to recharge our hazard protection. Okay, so we got some stuff here some crafting materials, basically. Nothing left to install here on our exosuit. Nothing left to install on our ship for the moment. And our multi-tool, well, we can install the shield and the bolt caster. We're going to pass on that for now. So, okay, let's get this ship in the air. W to lift off. Now we did notice that there was a minor settlement beacon. There was a minor settlement nearby, and we do have we did put down this thing. So deployed navigation marker. And that's why I put it there, so I can see this thing from afar. And you see the blue rings there, they just turned green. That means that this landing pad is active and we can actually engage a landing sequence. Now we're going to get out of this ship and it's going to make a save for us. See, restore point saved. Every time you get out of your ship, you're going to get a new save point. Life support power low. Okay. These red bins, of course, we can search and dig out the stuff that's in them. Like that. We know there's something useful over here. Did we actually do this already? I know we've already searched the shelter where we found the hermetic seal. This one? Yeah, I think we've been here too, right? Pretty sure. We've got the nanites out of it. Yeah, we've got the nanites out of it. We've already tapped into this, I think. Yeah. So all we need is the tool to be able to get the navigation data, sorry, the salvage data out of the ground here. Let's go back in here. We do have a little bit of money after having scanned a bunch of stuff and and we picked up a few nanites along the way. So like I said, this guy has some blueprints you can get off him. Purchase blueprints. So now you can see some of them are available because we have enough nanites to buy some of them. Like I said, the advanced mining beam is one of my favorite items to pick up first here. Toxic suppressor, well, we don't have quite enough nanites for that, but you also need GEC rank 3. And I'll show you how to get that. It's a question of ranking up your standing with this race here called the GEC. There's 3 different kinds of races in the game. The GEC being one. Korvax and Vy'keen we will run into later. It tells you what you need to build this device to on your your multi-tool. 1 carbon nanotube, 1 hermetic seal, and 2 wiring looms. So we're going to get the blueprint for that. We don't have, obviously, everything turned red over here, so we can't afford to buy anything else. But this guy also has components. And the component that we're looking for is this thing here. Wiring looms, right? Now, obviously, we have 9,600 units up here. And we can't afford to buy that. But maybe we can sell a few things that will allow us to buy that. We don't have anything of that kind of value. Heptaploid wheat. Oxygen we need, carbon we need. So at this point, it's a question of gathering enough items to sell to be able to buy that thing. There's a number of ways you can actually make money in this game. Okay, first thing I like to do when I'm going in my ship is change the perspective, because I don't like flying I'm not fussy about flying in first person unless I have to. I prefer this method, third person, so you're not in the cockpit kind of. It's not the cockpit view, right? It's a view from slightly behind the ship. Now, all systems functional, seek answers amongst the stars. Okay. So, at this point, there's a number of things you can do. According to your log, this is what they're asking you to do. Leave the planet, which means basically leaving the atmosphere. So you can explore. This is a very good exploration game, I find. So you can just cruise around like this. Your ship does have a scanner, which will find various items. Here's an observatory. You can tell by the dish on top of the building there. And most buildings will have a particular function, which you may or may not find useful. If you do cruise around, you will likely find various different kinds of buildings along the way, because the planet, of course, is peppered, unless in special particular cases, some planets do not have buildings, but I would say probably 99, over 90% for sure of star systems, planets have buildings on them. The exception being Uncharted, I believe. Abandoned systems will have planets, or planets with buildings, but the buildings are all abandoned, so there's no. I don't think there's any life forms in those systems. There's another shelter right here. You'll notice that my starship scanner did not pick up that particular building, your Starship scanner will not see all the buildings. Now this building is abandoned, and the way you tell that, the way you can tell that is these nests. These nests with the purple eggs. They look blue right now, but they are actually purple, I believe. Yeah, that indicates that the building is abandoned. So we're going to do another scan. Here's another building down here. That's a manufacturing facility. It is a secured facility, so there are guards posted to that facility. And early in the game like this, your best bet might be to stay away from that. Here's another one just like it. Now our ship scanner is picking up this building over here, and your buildings will be identified by a little white house kind of icon. Once it's picked it up, I think it's if you keep using your scanner, it will continue to find this building. And then, of course, you can go to it. All right, so we have found a trading post. And even as we approach it, it keeps telling us it's an unknown building. Well, we can tell it's a trading post. All trading posts look similar to this. There are 7 landing pads on which at least 3 additional ships can land. So your friends or NPCs. Now we're getting NPCs landing here. There's a hauler. There's a shuttle. If you put your scanner on the ship like this, you can tell what kind of ship it is. It's a shuttle. It's a C-class shuttle worth 2 million units. So if we had 2 million units, we could buy that. There's an A-class Explorer. And of course, this being a GEC system, all the pilots are GEC. And all the NPCs on the trading post are GEC as well. You can approach these people and learn a bit of their language. This is one of the challenges of the game, to find to find these people and learn their language. You get 1 word at a time. See, now we just learned the word for trade. And you've noticed also there's an additional item in the dialogue, practice language skills. Once you've learned a word, you can practice it and maybe obtain the gift. They gift me units in appreciation. So this particular GEC has gifted me 581 units just for speaking with them. The third option in this dialogue is offer a gift, a GEC relic. That's one way to increase your standing amongst the life form. Now, you can talk to you can talk to these guys, the ship pilots. Excuse me for a moment. I think I already mentioned it's hay fever, ragweed season. You can buy their ship if you want, if you have enough money. You can recruit this pilot into your squadron, so you have a squadron of fighters and pilots that can fly around with you. I don't know if they've changed the dynamics or the mechanics of that particular item, but I didn't find it very useful previously. Maybe we'll try that at some point too. Offer to trade. You can also buy some stuff off these guys. Now, I mentioned a few minutes ago, you can offer, you can gift a GEC relic. And this is one way to obtain a GEC relic, is to buy them off these pilots. We don't have enough money to buy one, so we'll have to skip that. You can also buy other things here. Tritium is pulse engine fuel. You can buy your launch fuel here, and a few other items. The items that you can purchase off these guys will vary. So if one pilot does not have what you're looking for, maybe another one will. And pilots flying similar starships will generally have the same inventories. Now, I'm not trying to call in my ship. I want to talk to the broker here. So this guy, and you can see down here your conversation with this pilot. The word we learned, trade, it's exposed in our conversation, but everything else is not. We have to learn the rest of this language, right? So like I said, you can offer to trade. This guy's flying a shuttle. The other guy was flying a hauler. This guy has slightly different inventory. So he's got platinum and cactus flesh instead of the gold and silver that was on in the other guy's inventory. And of course, again, you can offer to buy the guy's ship, right? Oh, what happened there? Okay, sorry about that. So one of the options again is to buy the pilot's ship, and in this case, these items are grayed out because we don't have enough money for them. Did you? Huh. Starduster, thank you. Yeah, so this ship is it's a C-class. It's got a bit more inventory than ours, so the inventory is what generally determines how much a ship is valued at. The more inventory it has, the higher the value. Of course, different types of ships have higher value as well. This one is worth 8.5 million almost, and we could exchange ours if we had 5 million. You can get units. There's a number of things they can give you. They may upgrade your multi-tool. They may even offer you a free multi-tool. It might be broke, but they certainly do that. Okay, trading post. Very useful building to find. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to leave the atmosphere. This is our next objective on our log, right? And there it is. Euclid Galaxy, you discovered this. Experimental. So 4 planets in this system. Down the bottom left, it's a Gex system. And this is what we were just told, right? There's 4 planets in this system. It's a Gex system. The economy is experimental. Satisfactory level. Probably a class 2 economy. And conflict is unruly. Class 2 conflict. There's class 1, 2, and 3 of that and that. And this is the planet we spawned on, right? And you can tell it's toxic by its content ammonia. Now we don't know what the other ones are because we haven't actually discovered them, right? So one way to discover them is to point your ship at them. There's the space station right there. You can tell by the converging trade routes. So these very light lines that you can see on the map here on the screen, those are trade routes, and they converge at this particular item here. Before we go there, we're actually going to see if there's another planet we can see. Yeah, so there's a ring planet here. If we point our ship at it, okay, what if we go into first person? Okay, looks like we need to get away from the planet we're on. Okay, here we go. Unknown planet, undiscovered. So press C to scan. We're just going to scan that. This one is a bleak planet. There are a number of different categorizations of planets. This one is bleak, and it has cactus flesh, copper, pyrite, and magnetized ferrite. That's the elements and items that are primary on the planet. So if we go back here, we still see that it's undiscovered, right? That's this one here. It's the ringed planet. We can't even zoom into it. This one we can zoom in because we've actually been there, and that's the key. You have to actually land on a planet to be able to see this stuff. Of course, there's another way to do that, but it requires additional stuff that we don't have, namely a freighter. So where did our space station go? Where did our space station go? We were not very far away from the space station. Let's just say that. And now it's disappeared. So we've moved out of view of the space station. Let's go back this way. I think that little faint yellow or faint white line there probably points to the space station. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, look at that. We're being summoned. Awakenings. Answer the communicator by pressing X. And the squiggly lines there. That's our communicator. Incoming transmission. Source. Blah, blah, blah. Please identify yourself. Yeah, why not? You are not alone. Follow the broadcast ends as strangely as it begins. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates. Input coordinate data. This is, okay, coordinates received. So this is again part of the tutorial, right? And it's directing us to do something, another part of a mission here. So find the cache. Okay, so there's that. And our cache happens to be over here. I really wanted to go to the space station. Is it over this way? I was really hoping to get to the space station. Where'd it go? Okay, so there's our faint line right across here. I'm guessing we moved out of range of the space station. Tell you what, first, why don't we investigate this thing here? See, it's approximate location. Signal source, approximate location. If you engage your pulse engine, you will fly more quickly, but at some point you're going to enter the atmosphere and the pulse engine will disengage. Now you notice that this is an approximate location. As we get close to it, you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled. We're probably looking for this building here, but probably not. We'll see when we get down here. Keep your eyes peeled for additional items on the ground here, because it doesn't necessarily have to be that building that we're looking for. Mission destination reached. Land to begin your search. Follow the coordinates and find the signal source. So you can land immediately and see if you can find what the signal source is. Pardon me. Or you can kind of fly around like what I'm doing and see if you can find the potential source from the air. So what we're going to do is we're going to just land right here. Now this is one of those abandoned buildings. You can tell that again from these purple eggs. If you go at these eggs, here I'll show you what happens if you go at these eggs. You can't just pick it up, so you have to shoot it with your mining beam. There it is. You see what just happened there? Those little critters will shoot acid at you, will spit at you, and if you let them, they will take you out. So if you do go at these eggs, be careful. Those guys will put you out. Will take you out. Now, some of these bins have interesting stuff in them. These green bins usually have rusted metal. The rusted metal, you don't need that necessarily, but it can be useful. It refines down to ferrite dust. This viscous fluid is less useful, so I'm just going to discard it. What else we have in here? First aid, okay. Got some bins there. What else do we have in here? We have another yellow bin. Swarm subsiding. Okay, nothing was found in that yellow bin. We just got a message that the swarm was subsiding, which basically means those little critters have gone back into the ground. So at some point they'll stop harassing you. Now, okay, before I do this, Oh, too late. User identified terminal interactive, unlocking data log for analysis. Looks like a wound on the world, blah, blah, blah. You can reload this or rewind this stream to find out all this this dialogue here. I'm not going to bother to read it. I've read it 100 times, I'm sure. I should have left it alone. Analyze data log. Something discovered coded deep inside traveler's log data. Something has been left that will help me on my journey. Another way to get nanites, right? Abandoned buildings. Yeah, so like I said, we've picked up an egg here, and the critters came out to attack us, and we've managed to escape. Okay, here's a bit of a survival tip. If you are having trouble surviving, find a cave like this, right? This is a cave. And use your mining beam to harvest the hazardous flora. As you can see, you're harvesting sodium, which is used to replenish your hazard protection system. There's two things that can be harvested from these hazardous flora: sodium and, as you can see, oxygen. Those are the two critical things that you need to replenish your life support and your hazard protection. So yeah, caves, good. Very good, actually. Now you're not going to get a whole lot from doing this, but you will get some. And it can help you out in a jam. Now, you notice that my mining beam just shut off. That's because it overheated. There's a white bar that grows up on top right part of the screen. It tells you how much charge is left in your mining beam, but it also tells you when it's overheating. So as the white bar grows, it turns yellow, then orange, then red, and at some point it's going to overcharge. So what we're doing here is we've just discovered stalagmites growing from the top of the cave, and the other type of cave plant here. Stalagmites contain cobalt generally, and cobalt is one of the two items you need for ion batteries. You also need ferrite dust, this stuff here. So ferrite dust and cobalt. We have one. Let's make a few more. Okay, now we have four, and that's used to replenish your hazard protection, right? You can also use, like I said, sodium and sodium nitrate. We have some sodium, so we're good there. For your life support, it's oxygen life support gel or dioxide. This is the life support gel here, and you can use dihydrogen jelly and carbon to make those. We do have one dihydrogen jelly, so we're going to make a life support gel. Now we have two. Okay, so we don't have to worry so much now about dying on the planet's surface here. So that's tips for survival. Find a cave, look for this stuff. Stalagmites and stalactites here from the top of the cave. Stalactites, from the top. So both of those things have cobalt in them. Now, I'm pressing my scanner, and you see what's happening there, right? Target sweep, active, estimated distance. Now this is the signal I'm tracking, right? That's what I landed here hoping to find, right? But it's not in the building. It's not anywhere near the building. It's actually over this way, 800 meters. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over this way. Let's see if we can find our destination marker. So we're still on track. Oh, no. It's over this way. 600 meters. Probably over this rise right here. It's probably on this the other side of this rise. So oxygen again. Hazardous flora. Right? Something is unidentified there. Okay, this is a sentinel. So after a while, you'll notice that mining activities. Oh, is this our last creature? No. Little green paw tells me it's already been identified. Dan Lohr, welcome to the stream, and thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying this kind of a entry-level tutorial kind of playthrough. We're all, most of us that are kind of have been playing this game for some time, we're all just kind of hoping there's going to be an expedition soon, which is a special playthrough, of course. And I think most of us have been hoping for that for like a month or two. And not sure why, but it's just not happening yet. There's our friend the Sentinel again. They just pop up as you use your mining device. Once you activate them for the first time, they'll always be on your butt. Okay, 250 units, so it should be just on the other side of the rise here. And your jetpack will help you get over the rise. Up this way. You have to be careful with your jetpack because the landings can be disastrous. Okay, this is what we're looking for here. I do believe. Yep. Finalizing signal, target in range. It's right there. Okay, so that damaged machinery. Usually there's a ship associated with this, if I'm not mistaken. It's weird that there's no ship here. Sparking wires, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Decipher the signal. Decoding 16, 16, 16. No fuel. Failed to reach station. Hazard protection low. No choice but to go underground. Deployed. Base computer and terrain manipulator. So here's the two more additional blueprints that you're really going to need early in the game. Terrain manipulator and the base computer. Then you'd like base computer or more information about whoever's leaving these messages. Extract plans. So there's the base computer blueprint, and there's a terrain manipulator blueprint. 2 carbon nanotubes and 1 dihydrogen jelly. It'd be to our advantage to make those as quickly as possible. Okay, we can make 2 carbon nanotubes. And we can make a dihydrogen jelly. So let's go ahead. Oh, I made 2. No biggie. Yeah. So terrain manipulator we can now create. Let's put that right here. We've got to put the parts in. Now we have our terrain manipulator. The good thing about the terrain manipulator, of course, is, and once you craft it, it will be the active device on your multi-tool. So here we go. We're going to do this. We're just going to, you should probably, try to grab as much stuff as possible early in the game. As the game goes on, of course, you're going to need less and less of these things because you will have accumulated quite an inventory. But early in the game, you certainly want to grab what you can. Okay, what's left? The rare ground creature is always active, eh? How much oxygen do we have? We got quite a bit. Okay, so you see the beam color is different, right? This is a terrain manipulator.
Rolled 72. Had Stardust
Okay. So here's what you can do with the terrain manipulator. Remember earlier we were talking about the berry technology and the salvage data you can get from them? Sometimes you can just walk over them like this and they will become available. Other times you need a terrain manipulator to dig them out. That's what your terrain manipulator does. It digs. So it digs, it fixes, it flattens, it does a whole bunch of stuff. But primarily you can dig things out like this. And you see we've picked up 2 salvage data. The useful thing about salvage data, of course, is its value. There's two reasons you want this stuff. One is the value, 100,000 units. They're 50,000 units each. The other thing is you can use these to obtain other blueprints. We'll study that at some point later on. Now, I did mention you can summon your ship from different locations. You can summon your ship anywhere as long as your launch fuel is has at least some fuel in it, or launch thruster has some fuel in it. Pardon me. Excuse me for a moment. So I've been enjoying No Man's Sky for a number of years now, and I really do enjoy starting a new game. More recently, I should change that to the mining device like this, because otherwise I'm going to be destroying stuff instead of harvesting it. Now your terrain manipulator does harvest things, but Adventures with Dread. Good morning, Dread. How are you this morning? Hope you're having a great day.
Check out Dread and her friends over at https://www.youtube.com/adventureswith.
There you go.
For some awesome content.
A little bit of a plug. Okay, these knowledge stones will give you additional language tidbits, accept knowledge. The name Gek floats in my vision. So I've learned a Gek word for Gek. Where's my ship? It's this way, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So we got one more creature to find. We'll see what the value of that is shortly, if we can find it. I did leave the planet, but I really would like to find that last creature before we actually move on. There it is, 91 units away. Should be just over here.
When was this update?
This is not an update.
Hello, Dread.
This is the last update from, gee, what, a month ago, a month and a half ago? Okay, so why is this it here? It is. Okay, so that's our final creature. And what happens when you scanned all the creatures, you get a nanite bonus. 250 nanites per creature. So there we go. Now we've got 1,700 nanites. That really gives us a huge boost, because now we can buy a whole bunch of plans, technologies, and upgrades for our various equipment. Notorious, welcome to the stream. How are you doing this morning? So yeah, that's it. We've scanned all the creatures on this planet. Jade peas. Planets will have various fauna that you can harvest for their okay, toxic damage, eh? Well, let's recharge our hazard protection. We just used our sodium for that. And you gotta be careful with that, because if your toxic protection dies and you don't have anything to recharge it with, your character will perish as well. Let's dig out these 2 little containers here.
Still no sign of KNS update.
No, I don't. I didn't see one. I specifically went into the game selection panel this morning to select this new normal mode game. I'm just kind of simulating a new player experience here, what you'll see if you start a normal game. And we've picked up our Radiant Pillar, we've fixed up all the, the pulse engine and the launch thruster. We've fixed... Anyone going... Who said that? Adventures with Dread. The meetup chat? Don't know. My Sunday is usually... I might. I don't know. My Sunday is usually kind of busy. As is my Saturday afternoon. So in 2 weeks exactly, Comic-Con is coming here to the national capital. And I will be donning, I hope I will be donning my my newly minted vault suit. My daughter and I are kind of in the process of putting together a makeshift vault suit. Yeah, so this afternoon I'm going to be going somewhere to see if I can round up some props. I've already got some going on, but I'm just curious to know if I can round up a few more. Yeah, and my daughter is helping me, my youngest is helping me with the actual building out this suit. Where is the space station? So these very faint lines should converge somewhere. I don't see the lines. Oh yeah, there's one. There's another line, but it's going to the ring planet, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to the ring planet. I had spotted the space station earlier, but I lost it. I lost it. I think it's on the other side here. Let's go check. So we see all 4 planets. There's the planet we just we spawned on, the one just above us there. There's one behind us, the ringed planet, and here are the other 2, which we don't know anything about right now. If you point your ship at it, of course, if you're close enough to it, it'll tell you what it is. You can scan it and it'll tell you what it is. This one's an empty planet. Copper, rust, metal, and cobalt. And the one back here is Arctic. So this is cold. The hazard on this planet is cold. Frost crystals, copper dioxide, very useful material there, and cobalt that you can also harvest. Now where is the space station? Lost it, completely lost it. You can usually kind of see it. Oh, I think that's it over there. I think that's it right there. So we're going to go into the space station. Yeah, that's it there. Asteroid field. So if you run into these, you can actually just shoot the asteroids and you'll harvest materials from them. Tritium, gold, silver, platinum, and in some cases tritium hyperclusters. Now, is it these that give you the tritium hyperclusters? These guys here. Come on, man. Nope, gives me gold. Okay, where's the space station? Lost it again. It's over here. There it is. Pulse engine. Boom. Okay, there is one and only one entrance in the space station. Let's get in there. It's going to give you a particular jingle, and here it is. Oh, you got everything you need in the space in the space station. You can land, and you got vendors that'll give you sell you upgrades or upgrades for your various technologies. The ship, the exocraft. You can see the symbol there, right? It's a ship. This is an exocraft. Over here, you got the multi-tool and your exosuit. On the ground floor, do we have any map? We have one navigation data. So the guy over here will have, he's the